All right. Hey, welcome back. We are here. We have officially made it to the final stretch of our T-Test deep dive. I mean, think about it. You planned the whole route back in Domain 1, you navigated all that tricky instruction in Domain 2, and you built this incredible vehicle for learning in Domain 3. So what's left? Well, it's time to pull into the garage for Domain 4, professional practices and responsibilities. Because that's really what this is all about. This whole domain isn't just about, checking off boxes at the end of a long year. Nope. This is that critical reflection piece that actually fuels your growth. It's where you literally draw the map for your next big trip, the next school year. It's how you figure out how to make that journey even better than the last one. So, here's our plan. First, we're pulling into the garage to really get why reflection is so key. Then, we'll crack open the professional logbook to check out the standards. After that, and this is my favorite part, we're going to uncover the secret in plain sight. Trust me, there's a philosophy hidden right in the rubric. And finally, we'll see how the journey starts again, turning this whole thing into a launch pad. Let's get into it.
So what is Domain 4 really? Well, it's all about you. It's where you, the professional, get to step back, reflect on your own performance, set some really meaningful goals for your own growth, and figure out how you contribute to the entire fleet of educators at your school. It's that crucial kind of behind-the-scenes work that makes all the other stuff possible. Now, inside this logbook, you're going to find 4 key dimensions. Think of them like milestones on your professional journey. Each one kind of builds on the one before it, and when you put them all together, they chart the exact course from being a solid, totally reliable professional to becoming a real leader on your campus. First up, we've got Dimension 4.1, Professional Demeanor and Ethics. This is your driver's license, right? It's the non-negotiable foundation. Now look at the jump here. At the proficient level, you're following the rules of the road perfectly. That's fantastic. But to be distinguished? Oh, you're not just compliant anymore. You're out there actively and passionately advocating for the needs of all students, not just in your room, but across the entire campus. That's a huge shift. Okay, let's take a quick pit stop for Dimension 4.2 goal setting. This is like your car's service record. A proficient teacher sets really solid goals based on feedback, and that's great. But a distinguished teacher, they take it so much further. They're constantly digging into data, looking at the research, and making these really substantial changes that create a real, measurable impact you can actually see in student performance. The key here is that the goal isn't just a piece of paper. It's creating visible results for kids. Now let's talk about upgrading the engine with Dimension 4.3, Professional Development. Being proficient means you're an active passenger, you're engaged in your PLCs. But to be distinguished, you become the catalyst. You're not just in the workshop, you are the workshop. You're the one leading your colleagues, hunting down new resources. You're literally moving from the passenger seat into the driver's seat for your whole team. And that brings us to our final milestone, Dimension 4.4, or what I call fleet communication. A proficient teacher is a fantastic ambassador, right? They're great at communicating with parents, but distinguished practice, that's about becoming the convoy leader. You're the one initiating these big collaborative efforts, pulling together students, families, and your colleagues to move as one toward the school's goals. You're not just reporting on the mission, you're leading the charge. Okay, so we just walked through all 4 of those dimensions, right? Comparing proficient and distinguished. Did you happen to notice anything? There's a pattern. A consistent philosophy that's baked right into the T-Test rubric. It shows us the exact pathway from being a good teacher to a truly great one. So what is it? What's that one core idea that separates proficient from distinguished all the way through this domain, and honestly across the entire T-Test framework? Just take a second, think about it. Okay, get this. The answer? It has literally been staring us in the face this whole time. Take a look at this slide. You see that arrow down there at the bottom? The one pointing from right to left? That single arrow tells the entire story of professional growth in the T-Test system. It's kind of brilliant. So here's how it works. On the right side of the rubric, you've got what we call teacher-centered actions. This is where the teacher is doing all the heavy lifting, all the driving, delivering the content, managing the classroom. But as you move to the left on that rubric, toward distinguished, the focus shifts completely. It becomes all about student-centered actions. And this perfectly captures the core philosophy. It's all about empowerment. This is the moment where you start to hand over the keys. The students, they start to take the wheel. They're the ones generating questions, leading discussions, and really truly owning their learning. The goal is to make yourself the guide on the side, not the driver of the whole trip. And that, right there, brings us to maybe the most important part of Domain 4.
This is not some end-of-year checklist you just file away and forget. No way. This is your launch pad for everything that comes next.
Because here's the thing about professional growth. It's a continuous loop. It's not a finish line. The reflections you're making and the goals you're setting right here in Domain 4, they directly become the map that informs all of your planning for Domain 1 next year. This is where the journey starts all over again, only this time you're an even more experienced, more effective driver.
And hey, can we just pause for a second? I really want to say something important here, especially if you're kind of new to this. Getting a proficient rating, that is a massive achievement. It means you are a dedicated, ethical, and effective professional. Seriously, proficient teachers are the absolute backbone of every single successful school out there. The goal isn't perfection overnight. It's about purposeful, continuous growth. That's the real win.
So, as we wrap up our whole journey through the TESS domains, just remember this one thing. This isn't just some evaluation tool. It's your professional GPS. Your reflections are your logbook. Your goals are the map. And your leadership, well, that's the engine.
You have everything you need to not just navigate your own career, but to lead the way for everybody around you. So the only question left to ask is, with this new map in your hand, where will your professional journey take you next?